So today, we're bringing you 10 relaxing anime that you definitely won't regret watching. 10 Tonari no Seki-kun, the master of killing time. Rumi Yokoi sits next to Seki, a guy who uses his creativity to do anything you can imagine, except studying. From an incredible domino chain made of erasers to a fully functioning post-office system, Seki's games are always impressive. Yokoi constantly gets distracted by his antics and always ends up getting scolded by the teacher because of him. She tries to ignore him, but she just can't. Tonari no Seki-kun is a short comedy with each episode only 7 minutes long, and it's really fun to watch. It's perfect for a quick break while you're waiting for the next season of Noragami. Or to calm your emotions after finishing one of those anime that makes you stare at your bedroom walls for hours. 9. Super Cub. Kagama is a girl with no parents, no friends, and no hobbies. One day, she sees a guy riding a scooter on the way to school while she's struggling uphill on her bicycle. On her way home, she spots the scooter again, which leads her to a bike shop. But she quickly realizes that scooters are more expensive than she expected. However, the shop owner ends up selling her an old Honda Super Cub for only $70. When she asks why it's so cheap, he explains that it's rumored to be cursed because 3 people have died while riding it. Kagama says she doesn't mind and buys it anyway. She eventually becomes friends with Reiko, a girl obsessed with motorcycles, especially Cubs. With Reiko's help, Kagama learns more about bikes and embarks on adventures she never thought she'd have. At first, she even forgets to put gas in her scooter. But over time, she learns how to change the oil by herself and gets excited about getting her full motorcycle license. In the first episode, she only gets a student license, which has restrictions like a maximum speed limit of 18 miles per hour. It's a pretty relaxing anime that starts off with a bit of a sad vibe, but then made me want to buy a scooter. 8. Play It Cool Guys is an anime about clumsy guys who try to cover up their embarrassing moments by acting cool, though it never works. In this slice-of-life comedy, we follow the lives of 5 guys. Ichikura always has his head in the clouds, constantly forgetting his keys or wallet, and he's not very good at understanding girls. Futami-chan. Whenever he does something stupid, he pretends it was on purpose, but everyone around him knows it wasn't. Shiki-soma always laughs at his own mistakes. Takayuki Mima helps his childhood friend pursue his dreams. He is completely oblivious and unfazed. Igarashi Motoru, a composer and writer who often gets lost in thought. He wrote a story about clumsy people, which became a movie. He's also Takayuki Mima's childhood friend. The story focuses on 3 of the 5 clumsy guys. Shiki-soma, who's trying to pursue what he loves. Futami-chan, who is definitely not the brains of the group and just wants to keep playing handball with his schoolmates. And Ichikura, who's still trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. 7. My Clueless First Friend. In this anime, there's a girl named Akane Nishimura who is bullied by her classmates. Everyone says she's a grim reaper who will curse them all, so no one wants to be friends with her. But then Taiyu Takada, a transfer student, comes along. He doesn't understand why people call her a grim reaper, but thinks it's a cool thing, and he immediately becomes her friend. Takada always sees the positive side of every situation. He's a kid with a pure heart. The only issue, though I'm not sure if it should be called a problem, is that he's always clueless about everything around him. That's why things like this,
手をつないでるのはなぜ？西村さんに触ると強力な呪いを授かるらしいからね。
or this,
死神なのに可愛い水着なんて反則じゃねえの？
北川くんも反則級に可愛いって。
いや見たよこら。
happen all the time. Takada gradually helps Nishimura accept herself and helps her make new friends. In episode 5, Takada finally starts to realize a bit of what Nishimura has gone through, and it's heartwarming to see how they both handle the situation. This anime will warm your heart in a way you never thought possible. 6. By the Grace of the Gods. By the Grace of the Gods is an isekai where Ryoma lives a peaceful life studying slimes in the middle of a forest, a stark contrast to his previous life working in a toxic company. His life suddenly changes when he saves the life of a duke's bodyguard and is invited to travel with the duke's family. Ryoma is treated like part of the family and even opens a laundry business using slimes as washing machines. His deep knowledge of slimes, combined with what he learned in his past life, helps him come up with many profitable ideas. However, Ryoma isn't the first person to be isekai'd to this world. On his journey, he not only meets a lot of interesting and kind people, but also discovers the legacies of others like him. This anime has 2 seasons, but it could easily have 10. It's really nice and relaxing to watch. I totally recommend it. 5. Killing slimes for 300 years. Azusa is a 27-year-old girl who worked herself to death. In her next life, she asked to be immortal and to live a peaceful, slow-paced life. For the next 300 years, she spends her time sleeping as much as possible, tending to her fields, and earning money by killing slimes. After 300 years of this, she discovers that she has maxed out her level. Before she knows it, people start showing up at her home to challenge the most powerful witch, disrupting her plans for a quiet life. With a dragon girl, 2 girls who claim Azusa as their mother, a demon who's obsessed with energy drinks, a ghost, and a pretty suspicious elf girl. Azusa slowly starts to realize that you don't have to be alone to enjoy a fulfilling life. 4. My new boss is goofy. Ulcers, mental stress, and an abusive boss made him change jobs, but the emotional scars from his previous boss still haunt him. This is a beautiful anime about a guy who quits his toxic job, hoping to find light in his life again. Kentaro Mamos is our protagonist, and he starts working with Usui Shirasaki, his new boss, who is the complete opposite of his last one. Usui does everything he can to make Kentaro feel safe and happy at the company. Usui is a bit of a silly person, leading to many funny situations. Shirasaki is the kind of boss everyone would love to have. 3. Banished from the hero's party. I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. Gideon used to be a member of the hero's party, but he got kicked out, now going by the name Red. He's a Class D adventurer living in the quiet village of Zoltan, where he dreams of becoming an apothecary and finally enjoying a slow-paced life. After half a year of hard work, he achieves his dream. Things get even better when Rit, a girl who has always had a crush on him, finds him and says she wants to live with him. The first season's opening is a masterpiece. It's impossible not to love the song. While the anime isn't a 100% slow life story, as Red's past sometimes comes back to haunt him, it's still very relaxing to watch. 2. Bofuri. Bofuri is basically about a girl named Keed, who has never played video games in her life. She was convinced by her friend Risa to try out a new game called New World Online. Not wanting to get hurt, she builds her character by putting almost all her points into vitality to strengthen her defense. Keed starts playing in the most unexpected way and even manages to defeat a boss in a really unconventional manner. Despite being clueless about what she's doing, she quickly becomes one of the strongest players in the game. Even the game developers have to hold meetings to figure out how to nerf her abilities. But Keed always finds odd ways to combine her skills. This anime is really fun and relaxing, with a protagonist who always thinks outside the box to solve problems. It's precisely because she's not used to playing video games that she comes up with such unique solutions. 1. My Next Life as a Villains. All routes lead to doom. This anime is about a girl who is late to school because she was playing an Otome game, only to get hit by Truck-kun. She later realizes she's been reincarnated into the same Otome game she used to play, but as the villainess. To avoid being killed or exiled like in the game, she tries to do the opposite of what her villain character would normally do, like being kind to everyone instead of bullying them. However, she has such a magnetic personality and so much charisma, mixed with her airheadness, that she ends up becoming the love interest of literally everyone. All the guys, and even the girls, fall for her weird but kind nature. The funniest part is that she never realizes the attention she draws to herself. This is probably the only harem anime truly worth watching. It's totally different from the typical harem shows with unnecessary fan service, suspicious camera angles, and frustratingly unsatisfying endings. If you haven't seen this anime yet, I'm pretty sure you won't regret watching it.